Our presentation is on the role of social media in terrorist recruitment, talking about the legal battles and platform accountability associated with the issue. My name is Megan, and my group members are Hannah and Lily. Gonzalez versus Google is a landmark case that challenged the liability of tech companies for algorithmic recommendations. The case arose when families of terror victims sued Google, claiming that YouTube's algorithm actively promoted ISIS recruitment videos. The Supreme Court ultimately ruled in favor of Google, reaffirming Section 230 protections. In 2015, Nohemi Gonzalez, an American student studying in Paris, was tragically killed in an ISIS attack. Her family sued Google, arguing that YouTube's recommendation system amplified extremist content, effectively aiding terrorist recruitment. This case marked the first time the Supreme Court seriously examined whether algorithms made tech companies responsible for content promotion under Section 230. The plaintiffs argued that Google's AI-driven algorithms didn't just host content, but actively pushed extremist videos to users. On the other hand, Google defended itself under Section 230, which protects platforms from liability for user-generated content. The case had broad implications, as the ruling against Google could have reshaped the legal framework for online platforms. Terrorist groups have long exploited social media for recruitment, propaganda, and even coordinating attacks. Platforms like YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook have been able to spread extremist ideology. This is a challenge that happens through algorithms designed to maximize engagement and can unintentionally amplify harmful content. At the heart of Gonzalez versus Google was YouTube's recommendation algorithm, which suggests videos based on user engagement. Critics argue that AI-driven suggestions help extremist content spread faster, raising questions about legal responsibility. The case brought global attention to how tech companies design their platforms and whether they should be held accountable for how their algorithms influence user behavior.
Section 230 protects platforms from liability for user content, meaning they aren't responsible for what users post. Courts uphold it to prevent over-moderation and legal overload. Critics argue it allows harmful content to spread, while supporters say it's essential for free speech. Platforms can moderate content, but aren't required to remove harmful posts unless other laws apply. The family of an Istanbul attack victim soon sued Twitter, claimed it aided ISIS by allowing recruitment. The Supreme Court ruled that just hosting content isn't aiding terrorism. Liability requires direct, substantial assistance. This decision set a precedent, making it harder to uphold platforms legally responsible for extremist content unless they actively support it. Tech platforms started with little moderation but faced pressures to remove harmful content. AI now flags posts, but mistakes are common. Human moderators help, but content often spreads before removal. The challenge is balancing free speech with effective enforcement while keeping harmful content from going viral. AI improves moderation but struggles with nuance. Encrypted apps make extremist content harder to track and ban users to create new accounts. Some platforms limit visibility instead of banning posts. Despite stronger policies, extremists still find ways to spread content, raising questions about regulation and enforcement. Regulating online speech is complex. Overregulation risks censorship. Underregulation allows extremism to spread. Social media bans help but aren't foolproof. Extremists can shift platforms to newer and more unregulated spaces. Courts debate tech liability, but no clear solution exists. The challenge is ensuring accountability without limiting lawful speech or stifling innovation.
Recently, policymakers have increasingly advocated for enhanced transparency in AI systems. This fosters public trust and ensures ethical use of technology. Additionally, a significant debate continues regarding whether platforms should modify their ranking algorithms. Adjusting these algorithms could prioritize user safety and ethical considerations. In terms of legal and policy considerations, lawmakers are actively discussing potential reforms to Section 230 to address the growing concerns surrounding harmful content online. This ongoing dialogue could lead to significant changes in how platforms manage user-generated content. Contrastly, examining the differences between the US and Europe regulations highlight contrasting approaches. In response to rising concerns, government and tech companies are working together to combat online extremism. However, ensuring effective enforcement without overreach remains a challenge. On a global scale, organizations like the UN are teaming up with tech coalitions to create standardized approaches. Looking ahead, governments and tech companies face growing pressure to curb terrorist activity online. However, defining effective regulations while respecting digital freedoms remains a challenge. While AI helps detect and remove extremist content, bad actors continuously adapt to bypass these systems. This creates an ongoing struggle between innovation and moderation and effects to evade detection. Overall, it's important to understand that over time, courts have upheld Section 230, which has protected platforms from liability for user content. However, this also makes regulating AI-driven moderation more complex. As we look to the future, policymakers, tech companies, and users need to work to balance free speech, platform accountability, and online security for all. Thank you.